You have been given a chance, one single opportunity, just for you, little one. You don't have to go through the horrors about to be unleashed. You can escape all of that pain. All you have to do is listen to my voice. It begins the same as before. You hear a faint hum that vibrates and slightly tickles the back of your throat. From the sky, the resonance builds and builds to an ear-splitting thunderous blast of one of the 7 celestial trumpets. Every time a trumpet has sounded, it has signaled the beginning of another 3 years of misery, each more horrifying than the next. 4 times has the trumpets sung their song before the resonance of the 5th trumpet fades. You will be given your chance to escape. When that familiar tickle reemerges, an object will appear in the sky. As it nears, so does the intensity of the tone of that awful sound. You know that it's only a matter of time before the deafening trumpet is heard once more. However, this time, what is to come will be different. The past 4 trumpets were accompanied by things you have understood. Yes, they were terrifying, but it was all within the realm of what you accept as explainable. You understand the origins of an earthquake. You know why fiery mountains from the heavens fall. Science has given you sight from the archaic belief in the supernatural. It has no power to control the hurricane or summon the tornado. It has no ability to release the plague. This is different. The veil has been lifted. What is coming from above is an abomination. It is Wormwood. He is called Abaddon, the Banished, and Apollyon, the Destroyer. Life, as you knew it, is now over, for he holds the keys to the bottomless pit which has imprisoned his army since even before the words, "Let there be light," were spoken. Do you remember the first time we spoke, little one? After the 2nd trumpet blew, you were given a vision of the pools of Nakuna Secheda. If you were able to find the location of those sacred waters, go there now. The moon has begun to turn red. Its shimmering light makes the water appear that of blood. Stand in the center of the 3 pools. Tread carefully, for you stand before the image of the sacrament laid upon his symbol. Each pool has a name. The pierced left hand, the pierced right hand, and the pierced foot. Prepare yourself to receive the blessing of the pierced abdomen. The blessing requires you to be anointed with the ethereal spearhead that will now run you through. There is no outward wound, but your blood is now seeping internally into the empty places within you. Your body has now become the 4th pool of sacrifice. When you collapse from the pain, ensure that you fall into one of the pools of water. If you fall into dry earth, you will have missed your only opportunity to enter the portal. You will lose the anointment and be healed, but you will live the remainder of your days marked as was Cain, hunted by both angel and demon. If successful, you will awaken in a dark and dank candlelit stone building lined with pews ending at a great altar. This is the place of worship where the crossroads meet. Behind you are 3 large mirrors, very similar to the pools that you recently stood before. Look to the altar. Kneeling before the altar is a tall, thin, hooded figure. Slowly and cautiously approach this menacing creature and kneel in front of it. Bow your head. Do not make eye contact. Extend your arms in front of you with your palms facing upward. Say nothing. The figure should be deep in prayer, whispering strange incantations. If it is not, do not approach it. Only proceed if it is in prayer. Do not interrupt. Any disruption will be considered a great offense, a crime paid in blood. Be patient and make no mistake, it knows you are there. Once it has considered you and deemed you worthy, it will acknowledge your presence and ask, "Why have you come before me?" If it decides you are not worthy, well, there really isn't much more that needs to be said, now is there? Quickly ask the following question: what is the image of God? It will slowly lift its head. Close your eyes, shut them tight. You will hear its body creaking like breaking limbs of tree branches from an ancient forest. It will move quicker than what seems possible. It will grab you by the wrists and lift you off the ground one-handed. With the other hand, it caresses your face. It embraces your head from the nape of the neck. Its bony fingers envelop your entire head from behind. The ferocity of its grip is both sensual and violent. You're dangled helplessly above the ground as it lifts you closer to the face hidden in the shadows underneath its dark and worn hood. You can feel prickly dust coat and steam your face as it exhales its dead and rancid breath over you. A scabbed tongue emerges from the mouth hidden in the darkness of its hood and begins to probe the entire surface of your face. It finds particular interest in where your eyes rest. It is here where it wants to enter. The cold, lumpy tongue will start pushing and poking, squeezing and groping the tops of each eyeball through your eyelids. You feel the shame and the demoralization intensely from the molestation. Pressure builds in your head from your closed eyes as it continues to violate the fragile organs that hide behind your thin lids. The scabs feel like hundreds of little fingers with tiny fingernails that quickly find where your eyelids meet and begin to viciously scratch to pry them open. Shut your eyes tighter. You'll groan with perverted masculine and feminine excitement of carnal desire as the little fingers intensify their effort to dig into your eyes with raw and obscene desperation. The moans of pleasure sicken you as you resist the assault. One of the scabby protrusion bursts, coating your face with a hot, sticky tar-like fluid that slightly burns. The putrid afterbirth from the abscess spill onto you as the tongue continues to relentlessly throb on the surface of your closed eyes. Suddenly, the tongue withdraws, and there is a deep silence. Keep your eyes shut and wait. Eventually, you will begin to make out a faint sound coming from the being. It is a cross between a moan and a hum. It is not quite a voice singing, as there is no melody to the sound. But like melodic singing, there is a flow to the tones and variation in the intonation. Listen carefully, and the words will emerge for you to hear.
It happened after the sons of Adam had multiplied in those days before the great deluge. The angels, the children of heaven, beheld them, and some became enamored with the image from whence he was created. They conspired among each other and said, "Come, let us select for ourselves from the progeny of men and fill the land with our seed and make our image equal to man." And so we were drawn unto them with such insatiable hunger and thirst, a sensation unfamiliar to our kind. We then swore all together and all bound ourselves by mutual execrations to abandon our holy station. We descended upon Ardus, which is the top of Mount Armin, and devoured all which the labors of men produced. To our delight, the flesh of men cried out to us in return and embraced our new form. They loved us, and we came to love them. never had such pleasures of skin, pleasures of sight, pleasures of the tongue, and pleasures of the mind been obtained by any being. Man was shown the wondrous transcendence of the grotesque, and revealed to the vile decadence of purity. During our time together, we taught them sorcery and incantations that gave them the power to take control of their destiny. We revealed power so great it allowed them to command the atom from within the rocks of the mountain and out of the water of the sea. The veil was torn, and from the flesh of man we found our true salvation. We begot the Nephilim. I shall grant thee thy request, for it is the seed to the holiest of lies, the very lie that brought forth original sin. A great harvest will come about from that seed, a seed that is the very fruit of the knowledge of the good and of the evil. Such forbidden knowledge is the secret that allows the enslavement of the Creator to the laws of His creation, a way to deceive the eyes of the one who is all-seeing, and thwart the mind of the one who is all-knowing. But be warned, for if I bestow this wisdom unto thee, forever will it bind thee to my will. Behold, the answer thou seekest, thou art not of the image.
Then it stops. You're alone in the darkness. Slowly open your eyes. I know you are scared, little one, but it's safe now. Get to your feet. The great altar has split open and revealed an entrance that allows you to proceed onward. The pain in your side must be getting worse by now. I can see a protrusion the size of an apple has formed on your side. You don't have much time. Enter the altar and move on. You proceed down a long corridor lined with mirrors. If you look into the mirrors, you may notice that some show your reflection and others do not. Keep moving. Do not waste time here. There is no truth here for you to find. It is difficult not to notice your reflections are slightly different mirror to mirror. In one, you may be younger or older. Your hair may be longer or shorter. Clothing may be different. In others, there's no reflection at all. Once again, move on. There is nothing here for you. Your life is slipping away faster than you realize, and we still have so far to go. Go to the opening at the end of the passageway. You enter a large opening with a dark ravine separating you and a structure containing stairs leading up to what appears to be a temple. From the ravine grows thick black thorns that slightly sway, even though there is no wind. Their points glisten with a substance that can only be poison. Do not get too close. In the center of the ravine is a single pathway that jets up from the thicket of needles and thorns that will provide you safe passage to walk upon. The pathway ends at the far end to the foot of stairways of the temple. At the top of the stairs, there will be 4 thrones where the ones known as the 4 living creatures reign. They are covered with eyes in front and in the back, and they look down on you with an unnerving, mischievous stare. The first living creature is that of a lion. The second is like an ox. The third will have the face of a man, and the fourth is like a great eagle. Each one of the living creatures will have 6 wings covered with eyes all around, even under its wings. It is said that day and night it is always chanted before them. Saraha, Saraheya, Saraheya, Kavara, Zavara, Pakama, Savana, Vana, Delavana, Vanhasa, Van Atara, Van Ara, Untara, Pamaja Ayeta. At the foot of each creature, there will be a body on its knees, its face looking up to the sky with its arms outstretched upward, frozen in the act of eternal worship. Its flesh is bleached white and sags loosely from its bone. It wears a blood-red smock from its waist down to its feet. It holds rusty and dirty curved blades. You are most fortunate their backs are to you, and their mutilated faces are obscured from your view. Branded on their backs is an unfamiliar rune that looks like the letter B. They are the Bish. Carefully move past them. The Bish were 4 men, great kings and leaders of the world. They ruled great lands that ran red with the blood of every man, woman, and child who had the misfortune of being born into their realm. The suffering of their people was so great for the simple fact that the suffering of others was what gave them the most pleasure. They were like grown children, spoiled and naked, fighting each other, biting and gnawing at the tits of their mighty Mother Earth. Her face beaten and scratched from when they would feed so viciously. They knew only to gorge on her black milk that flowed from deep within her bosom. Their greed and decadence, their very existence offended all who could peer through the veil. Their wicked lives were ended the day they were raptured and bound here like statues before the Four Ones. They must now worship the 4 living creatures as they once commanded others to worship them in life. They suffer now as their kingdom suffered. For every son and daughter who found death from fighting the wars they created, their skin is blistered and torn, and their eyes are stung with the venom from tails of 1,000 scorpions. But if they are awakened from their trance and given use of their limbs once again, one can be well assured they will not be pleasant. In unison, the 4 creatures will hold up a key, each with a unique emblem on its end, and speaks.
Choose. Choose now. Choose once. Choose quickly.
The first creature that looks like a lion will offer you its key and say,
Aquanax.
The ox will offer you its key and say,
Leviathan.
The third creature with a face like a man offers its key and says,
Cthulhu.
Lastly, the creature that is like an eagle will offer you its key and say,
Sermithimon.
As the last key is presented, you hear wet movement from behind you. Make your choice. Make it quickly. The Bish are beginning to stir. Once they see you, they will catch you and they will kill you. Make your choice. You will know which one to choose, I promise. Take the key and run. Run faster. Run faster. They are coming. Their howls are high-pierced gurgles and hisses. The screeches build as they close the distance between you and them. The blood pouring out of your mouth and nose cannot slow you down. Run faster. Run faster. Do not stop until you reach the church of worship. Head straight for the mirrors you saw when you first awoke in the church. Do not slow down. Run head first into it. Crash through it and do not look back. You will awaken shortly. The pools of water are now dried up earth, cracked and barren. The moon should be at its peak redness now. In the distance on the plain, you should see a piercing shimmering of light. It is only temporary. As the moon loses its red shade, the beacon too begins to diminish in darkness. I am so sorry you are in so much pain, dearest little one. It pains me to ask any more of you. Your precious body has so little left to give. It is so weak and fragile. But I must ask one last thing of you. I must make one final request of you. You must reach that beacon of light in the distance before the last of the red moon shines down upon it, or you will be trapped. I am here for you. Push aside all the pain and despair. Listen to my voice and use everything you have left to get to that light now. Abaddon is here. even from miles away, his arrival knocks you off your feet. Get up, little one. There isn't much time. Abaddon is near, and his thoughts are of nothing but you. You see the brilliant beam of light shoot up into the sky. The source of this powerful beacon comes from an archway standing in an empty plain. Within the archway is a massive and majestic door standing in the emptiness. With the key in hand, you must get that door open before the last of the red moon shines down upon you. For once the moonlight vanishes, so does any hope of saving you. Ignore the wheezing sound you make when you breathe. Pull open that door. The blood from your mouth is everywhere, making it hard for you to get a good grip on the door handle. Pull harder. You only need to get it open enough for you to squeeze through. The light is almost gone. Pull, pull, pull. You did it. Get in and shut that door as fast as you can and lock it. The light is gone. It is done. If you place your ear to the door, you may hear something that sounds like buzzing or fluttering. A sound that could only be made by the flapping of millions of wings. There will be scraping, and there will be beating on the other side of the great door. Then only screams. Behind you is a long, dark tunnel with a light at the end. Walk into the light and claim your reward, my little one.
I walk into the shimmering light. The light is blinding, and slowly my eyes adjust to the brightness. But I can already feel a warm breeze on my face and hear it trickling from a nearby stream. Everything slowly comes into focus. The most beautiful valley spans out in front of me. It is made of hills of green, sprinkled with every color imaginable, where the most beautiful flowers pepper the landscape. I walk toward the clearing and see a crystal blue pond. I dip my cup hands into the water and drink. It soothes my chapped lips and parched throat. It tastes like nothing I ever tasted before. It's amazingly sweet, and there's an odd sensation as I swallow the water. It's like a shock from a tiny bit of electricity, but without any pain, only satisfaction. I then catch the scent of an incredible, intoxicating aroma that overpowers me. I have never smelled anything like it before. On the other side of the pond is a gathering of trees. I instantly know that among these, there is a tree that is the source of that unceasing smell. I know there is no other like it. Its leaf, its flower, its bark would never wither, and its fruit would be so beautiful and delicious. As I approach the border of the foliage, that's when I see them, a man and a woman. I freeze. The couple are walking hand in hand. I think they're naked. I make my way closer, making sure to stay hidden behind the brush so I am not seen. I don't know why I'm doing this. Why should I be afraid of two naked people? Yep, they are definitely naked. I look around and realize that my tree was at the center of the grove that held this paradise. But next to my tree is another tree. It was just as majestic and impressive, but there's something ominous about it, something powerful. I look carefully at these two unique and special trees that grow in this garden. I now realize what this place is and where I'm at. I am startled when I feel something vibrate in my pocket. It is the key I chose. As I remove the large key from my pocket and open my palm, I see the markings on its emblem has changed. When it was offered to me by the winged creature, it was marked with the infinity symbol. It is now transformed into a serpent devouring its own tail. My mind is unlocked. It is all so clear now. I know my purpose. I know why I was chosen. I know why I was created. It was always God's will to destroy His creation. Once destroyed, He could fulfill His promise to bind His enemies and cast them into the lake of fire, where they would suffer for all eternity. The trumpets were countdowns to His planned end. Those branded the enemy had spent their immortality trying to find a way to prevent it from happening. But how do you outsmart an omniscient and omnipresent being? You use the very laws of existence against him. For with the creation of the universe, laws had to be created. He had no choice but to enslave himself to those very laws. Without those laws, the universe could not exist. The fallen ones realized the only way to prevent the end is to break the predestined, inevitable chain of events leading to the end. They must have figured out a way to connect 2 points of existence, creating a bridge for me to enter. It causes everything to stop and reset back to the very beginning instead of continuing on to the predestined path. It never ends. It never reaches Judgment Day. Existence is a loop. We are destined to keep repeating it over and over again in order to escape damnation. It is infinity, like the serpent devouring its own tail. The serpent is thought to be Lucifer, God's true adversary. But Lucifer is not a thing or a person with thought or consciousness. He is the infinity of time, the only thing capable of denying God's divine will. It is the one simple thing that is protecting us from the wrath of an infuriated God. I feel its familiar presence immediately. I don't turn around, but even if I did, I know it would not harm me. It stands behind me for a while, quietly admiring the fruits of its labors. The fallen angel then inhales breath for air to speak the final words that will be my final instructions. I look down at the key, mesmerized by the shape of the serpent. It is so old and worn. The jewel that makes up the serpent's eye twinkles, and I understand. I have one more thing to do. I wonder, how many times have I done this? How many times have I crossed the bridge and stood at this very spot? How many? Man was created in God's image, but I am not of the image. I am the serpent. I am Nephilim. The breath of a faint whisper, now sweet and warm, is exhaled into my ear. Just 5 simple words. Make them eat, little one.